Hello and welcome back. I am Arumba. Thank you for joining me. Let's play some more A Rocket per Patron in Factorio. Alright, so we are up to... it's a new month, so the number updated. 1,088 patrons. I have changed a couple minor things here. I've shut down the old iron and steel smelting and replaced it with this. This little itty bitty tiny thing right here replaces basically all of this. And, it's a thing of beauty, I think. It's not like perfectly balanced or anything, but it makes iron plate, makes steel plate. Got two full belts of red. One of them is actually blue. It's totally full. Everything's fine. I gave them priority over the old ones, and then shut down the feeds. And at this point, I think it's probably time to just you know, get rid of them. So we're gonna get rid of them. So let's go ahead and just say no more of this. Or this, or this, or any of this. Until I was sure that it was going to be able to replace the existing production, I didn't want to actually take it apart, but clearly it is doing a good job now, I think. This whole area can get cleaned up, giving me a little bit more space to work with. Found an errant bit of stone. They are still all over the factory on occasion. One of the recent videos, just a couple things, couple suggestions for people that I should do some more like inventory clearing, and I agree that's probably a good idea. I'm gonna go ahead and grab an active provider warehouse. Just gonna put everything in it, and then I'm gonna just deconstruct it. Then they'll only bring me the stuff that I actually need, because apparently I've been carrying around things like lead plate, which is not used as an intermediary. So if we need stuff and we don't have it, I'm gonna start trying to just request it. Also, I mean, they're gonna obviously bring some of that crap back to me, but there was an attack of some sort. The fuel lines can also be cleaned up. I want to replace the copper with something similar to this one. So this one I had to do a little bit kind of squirrely because I wanted to be able to do iron into steel. This was originally going to be just iron, then I realized, well, it's making more than I really need to, so I'll feed some of it into some steel ones, and then I'll just go underground to here to make the iron. And I haven't really mathed out the numbers or anything, but it's working just fine, so whatever. Let's place down another one of these things, like here-ish. If we put one extra space, we can fit an extra beacon. We'll go like there. And of course these are speed. I think we're ready to do productivity. You are actually going to be making me some copper plate. Oh, this blueprint's actually old. Shoot. I was gonna say it felt a little bit different than this one. Here, let's just copy like up to here. I am having some power issues right now. I've been doing a little bit of work though, going around the factory trying to make things a little bit cleaner and stuff. So we're gonna shut that down for now. We're gonna copy you. Gonna make sure, was there a filter on this one? There may not have been. There should be. Copper ore. And that should definitely be sped up. Having difficulty actually getting enough beacons. From here, I think what we'll do then is just kind of bend you guys down. some sort of a biter attack is happening. It's being kind of annoying. Not a big deal, but... Alright, so that'll replace that whole thing. This we can replace with these, and then upgrade plenty of them up to the better quality. This stuff is all gone now. This feed can go away. That does mean that we need to request in the actual copper now as well for this guy. And, this is a catalyst of some sort, right? Yeah. Red metal catalyst should be less than like 500. Seem to have some fairly vast sections with no power at the moment. Connect that back together. And finally we had the lead production, which we should also try to beacon, I think. Alright. What is stopping me from making more beacons? Lack of tinned copper wire. Probably not requesting any tinned copper wire. This whole setup I think we should start to beacon. And I did do a little bit more work elsewhere as well. I got rid of my car though. When I did that with my chest. I started going around doing these. So I have some electric mining drill Mark IVs with triple green module 3s, triple raw speed module 3s. So these guys have minus 80% pollution, minus 80% energy consumption with plus 180% speed. So they're like really efficient. They have 244 kilowatts of energy when they run and pollution of 5. For comparison, if I were to make one of these things without any of these modules, it costs 1.2 megawatts, so obviously a significant savings in power, and generates 122 pollution. So all of a sudden we're looking a lot better on there, and I've replaced not all of the mining bases with these, but most. I ran out of resources at one point, so I had to stop. But I mean, look at the amount. This is 2 blue belts worth of Javolite coming in, pretty much, out of this base, and the pollution is actually not that bad. So power is, we're trying to get power taken care of. There's a few more bases up here that I wanted to fix. I really kind of wish I had a car right now. These ones got mostly replaced, and then and this is where I ran out. I couldn't do any more for this one. So these ones are good to go on the Bobonium. But then over here, I do now have some extra beacons. Question is, can I make enough of the Mark IV mining drills? Let's see, are we actually in a construction area right now? We're not. I'm gonna deconstruct this. Just gonna redo it. Alright, let's see. Missing a couple tiles over there. We could do just like one more of this. I haven't found an easy way to just put 3 in. I'm thinking at some point I'll do a blueprint to just like automatically have the correct ratio, but I didn't want to do it yet because I'm planning on, in this episode, working toward the higher tier modules. So we're not doing any research yet because I'm preparing for that. And then the speeds, you can just control click in, which is quite nice. And then we'll throw down a single one of these guys. So yeah, that is now also optimized. I needed, I think I had picked up the RoboPorts. This actually does require batteries. I'm not requesting batteries anymore. Darn it. There's a train coming. Be very careful. So, this whole area apparently needs some lights. Remember, I tried to optimize some of this stuff. Only to find out that perhaps maybe we should just start, you know, messing with the numbers and putting productivity in things. We're not going to put productivity into that. That'd be uncool. Same thing with this one. You guys have shut down because there are too many of these. Ever so slightly. Over here, on the other hand, productivity would be good to have. If I were to throw productivity into this whole mess, it would just kind of ruin all the ratios. Let's go work on some of the more module-based stuff. So we want to do like pollution-producing modules. Why not? Let's get that out of the way. Next. I'm sure that we need this tech for some reason. Okay, I did realize, I don't remember if I commented on it, that the science was not actually being delivered to both locations. Now we're down to just the 4 science labs, so that is functional. We could do more beacons and actually affect these with some more speed, but again, before I do too much more research, I feel like we're so close to having like productivity 5s, at least, if not 6s, that it just makes sense to hold off on that. I can do raw productivity 5, direct crafting, productivity logic boards, effectivity logic boards, pollution cleaning logic boards, etc. So productivity 6, something we can also research. Let's go find where we had started the process of making the raw productivity, which are the red ones. So that was tier 1, 2, 3. Someone had also suggested as well that we could, instead of using any of these, like, manually set conditions, we could use a combinator to do it. Could be interesting. But despite a little bit of manual legwork here getting this thing set up, it's not that actual much work, really. Okay, so the only thing that you're not getting are the effectivity logic boards right now. We'll try. Keep trying. We can actually work on productivity 7. That's pretty awesome. So it was the effectivity logic boards, which are here, which are being held up by transistors. Transistor production was suffering, which was, I think, either tin or a lead shortage of some sort. Transistor production was happening over here. I started to work on this a little bit, got rid of... Okay, so we're back down to a plastic shortage here. These are nice and productivity'd up, but, question is... Plastic. Should just go get some more plastic is what I should do. Can we go all the way up to productivity 8? Yes. Yes, we can. I started to speed module the production of plastic at one point. I feel like that is probably not the right call. Now we have better stuff. We've got the raw stuff. So let's do raw productivity on these. And let's also do a singular beacon Mark II with some raw speed. Affects all of these. We actually probably don't need this many anymore. It's just about minimizing the amount of machines and making sure we have better productivity in them. And yes, there is a recipe that's really, really good that apparently I should just start using called coal cracking gasification, coke, hydrogen sulfide, benzene, methane. The methane we can turn directly into methanol, methanol into propene, propene into plastic. Benzene is the recipe that I had just barely started to maybe figure out, and then I stopped recording and now I don't remember. So it's like something up there. We had the the butane, which is apparently all gone now. Okay, that's good to see. That's right. We were doing formaldehyde. I remember that. So we turned all of the butane now into here's my thing that I can read. We have 79K of that thing, 9.7K, and then 300. So the butane's down to just 300. That's great. So let's get rid of some of these storage chests then. And let's also make sure that the wires are still connected, because I can see that I didn't have it wired all up cleanly. Okay, so we should still see about, yeah, 300 butane. We have 9.7K of the black, red, and white swirly, which is the phenol. And my guess is that that's only wired up to one chest, or one thing. Now we have more numbers to look at. Okay, so the butane, again, became, via this machine, benzene. That's our benzene, which we are measuring. So the benzene's the one that's like a little black thing with like a bunch of little white dots, the hydrogen dots. So we got 70, is this actually 78K stored in here? Holy crap. Each one of these can hold 10K, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that could hold 90K benzene, so that's 78,000 benzene in there. The benzene was then being rerouted into this machine, which was turning it into the phenol. The phenol gas is up here, and we're almost capped on that. 58k phenol, where we add a little tiny bit of hydrogen to the benzene. Sorry, not hydrogen, oxygen. We add a little bit of oxygen to the benzene, turn it into phenol. Looks like we need more here. Let's get some productivity into here to hopefully generate a little bit more oxygen, because you are having issues. If I put productivity into you, we're going to end up with extra byproduct synthesis things. And do we care about that? I mean, they're automatically going. I don't, you know, honestly, that's fine. Go ahead. This beacon is only hitting some of the stuff. I can't really move it in closer. We could put... If I put you up here, you don't hit that bottom machine. I kind of wouldn't mind just having an extra one up here, though. Hit some of these other spots. Alright, so now you have too much oxygen, and you don't have enough yellow metal catalysts. No, that's not true. You got plenty of yellow. You are unable to unload your phenol. The phenol is capped. So we need more storage for the phenol. That should keep you running... kind of. A little bit more. And then the phenol was getting mixed in over here to just make plastic directly, and it's being held up because it's just full, and we're only delivering via robot. So, let's go ahead then and just create a lot of plastic. Go directly like this into a active provider. That is going to make the logistic robots go crazy, as this thing churns out absolute ridiculous amounts of plastic. Productivity 8 is now complete. Good. Let's work towards like raw productivity 6. So we actually do have a fair bit of plastic. There's 4.8k in that system there. This one is generating as fast as it can. Plastic was just holding up the transistors, so module production should be pretty solid now. Some of these I feel like should just be by raw speed moduled. Let's just throw some of those into there. Now, we don't need as many of these things. They do take quite a bit of energy. So if you were... I needed 5 before. I think we can get away with at least removing 2 of them. Right, because that's... We had 5 crafting speed before, now we have 6.6. These two would be 4.4. Yeah, it's fine. Little things here and there, trying to make the factory a little bit better. This production here... I think we can strip a couple of these machines. And if you're going to make stuff, you might as well make it with productivity. It's good to see stuff on belts. It's good to see bots flying around doing things. Alright, so back up to here. We were working on raw productivity 4s, which, sorry, raw productivity 5s and 4s. We were waiting on effectivity logic boards. We are lacking integrated electronics now, which was down here. These guys are lacking silicon wafers. Okay, that's raw productivity 6. I need to get raw productivity 7. I need to get efficiency 7. Silicon wafers is something I think I'm still relying on, like, a singular machine to make right now. So that guy needs to get upgraded for sure. Alright, I see kind of what the problem is with the plastic. The plastic that we're creating elsewhere is not actually being injected into the system here, which is why the thing is still being pretty slow. We need to actually have an unload point for the plastic. It's probably all just going into storage right now. So, I'm supposed to put like a requester chest. We should just put a requester chest wherever the plastic is made. Well, no, the bus is probably still smarter. Put a requester chest like here. That is not a requester chest, is it? I'll hopefully bring a lot of plastic over. We're going to upgrade definitely to the blue belt, I think, for the plastic feed. One, two, three. That should reach. Yep. Plastic? Plastic. Good. Next, then, would be a speed beacon, potentially. Also, I need to speed these up. We can get this back down to there. That's 1, 2, 3. So you can go all the way... No, you can't. Interesting. You can go to there, though. That is going to load a lot of transistors into there. But at this point, I feel like the production's probably going to be blocked. Yep, see those pulsing yellows and reds? It's blocked by the speed of these inserters. So this is the point where it just starts to make more sense to me to just start ramming stuff in with loaders. So we could take like, let's do 1. We'll strip you, we'll put 2, we'll copy paste that and that. We're gonna do loaders in times 4, loaders out times 2 with a splitter. Back down the output path. We'll upgrade the output path, upgrade these, upgrade those all the way. So that's most of the crap that you need from that, but then to get the silicon wafers in, I'm gonna have to do... This whole thing is gonna not need to be here anymore. So we can take the wafers back down to here. We'll do a splitter. It's gonna have to be all the way back here, isn't it? To load those up, and then these guys can run non-stop, throw some productivity into them. And if we can, at least 1 speed beacon would be nice. That is now a lot of transistors coming out. They're actually able to overproduce a blue belt worth of transistors. It also means that we don't need this. That should load up pretty well and quick. Keep things running. So efficiency module 7s. Now we need to do efficiency module 8s. And I'm going to take a break here, but think we're ready to start knocking out the better ones. This is all just being done with efficiency, raw productivity 3, raw productivity 4. Sorry, raw productivity 3, raw speed 3. Wait till we have the 8s. It's going to be crazy. So you are really slow. These are definitely a point where, like, every tier of the productivity should be productivityed, obviously, because you need to have more productivity for your productivity. Like, if you're going to make raw productivity, why not make productivity with productivity? Don't put them into there. Put them in down here. While you're making your productivity, put some productivity in your productivity. So yeah, we are definitely, or have at one point, started to produce productivity 4s. Right? And they have already been requested over to here. So I'm going to start requesting the productivity 4s now. And like I said, I'm going to take a break here, but I will be back in the next episode. So thank you for watching as always. I'll see you in a bit.